Alright, how's it going? Welcome to Gamedev stream number 6. Today we'll finally move on from the platformer minigame that we've done for the past couple streams. Yesterday we had some issues with tying this minigame to the base game because there was lots of classes that didn't like the scene switch and whatnot. And I said I would fix these offline, and of course I did that. So now the platformer minigame is basically fully done. The only thing left is to obviously fill it with enemies and obstacles and randomize the goal and spawn position and whatnot. But other than that, it should be fully tied to the game now. So we can travel to the platformer minigame. Once we reach the goal, we claim the rewards. And it should take us back to the main game. There we go. And of course your party actually grinds while you're away playing the minigame. Right, so the second minigame I think we'll do is the mining one. I know I said yesterday that we would do the archer minigame, but the reason I'm doing the mining is because I'm still not entirely sure how I want to actually do the archer minigame. The mining minigame, I am pretty much sure how I want it. If you've played Haste Miner 2, it's one of the games I made, one of the most popular ones that I made. I want to do it sort of like the dungeons in Haste Miner 2, where you have this like a cave area, sort of similar to a platformer thingy, and you just run around mining ores. So I think we'll do that. Add a time limit, and then you'll basically get rewards based on how much you mined, I guess. So I have this base rock set up. I think this is how I want to do the like the mineable rocks. Maybe or not. I just realized that will look. That may make it look really weird. Hold on. Let's actually let's take this. I think we should do this one actually. There we go. Base rock small. So I think we'll do something sort of like this, and we'll just do some hue shifting on it. So we maximize the saturation, and all of a sudden we have like different types of ores. If we do a dark blue one, we already have like sapphire. Green, and then we already have some sort of emerald. Now let's see. I think we'll do one more just for now. Some red one, which will be, I guess, a ruby. Yeah, let's start with that. Right, so we want to start with creating the scene, obviously, which will be a minigame underscore mining, I guess we'll just call it. There. So we had nothing. I already prepared another rule tile, which will be, I think, the rocks that we have for the cave. So we'll start by setting up a tile map. Rectangular. This of course needs a tile map collider. Right. This will just draw a little platform for starters. Is it raining outside? Oh, it is. It's pouring. Hold on, can I open the blinds? Yeah, a little bit. That's fine. Right. So let's get our character. Oh, minigame platform. I think we can just copy paste our platformer character, because that's another thing I've done since yesterday. I kind of extracted the movement, the combat, and the health into 3 separate classes. That way we can just give this character the movement and ignore the health as well as the fighting logic. Oops. So we'll remove the platformer fighter and we'll remove the player health. And that should already allow us to move around, I think. Yeah. Great. Now, of course, we're still the knight, and that's not what we want. We want to have the miner. Let's see how that works. Yeah. Perfect. So already we got the movement done, basically. Let's do some sort of background, of course. Maybe we can do... let's see. We'll do the ground tile map. Let me adjust the music a little bit. There, I think that's better. So we'll have the ground tile map, and then we'll do a background tile map. Let's see how that looks. So we'll remove the collider. We'll make this ordering layer be behind the ground tile map. And I think if we give it like a darker sort of color, and we fill it in with the same rule tile, basically, it could look fine. Oh, wait. Right, the filled in one is just this dark blue, I just realized. So let's... guess if we give it... What can we give it, actually? Is there any... Maybe this one? Just see how it looks. Oh god, that is awful. And it's also not rendering behind for some reason. Why is that? Let's see. Oh, it is. That's weird. Okay. Doesn't look great, obviously. What about this? No, all of these are really bad. Nope. So I think we'll just do like a really dark gray background for now. I guess we could do this color and just darken it a bit. Yeah. We'll do that for now. So we've got the movement going, we've got the colliders. Of course, we want to set up the camera to follow the player. So let's do 2D camera. Let's tell it to follow our character. And there should be the camera. Logic done. Yeah. Oh, it's way too zoomed out. I think we'll do 6. Still too much. Maybe 5. 5, and we gotta change the update mode, of course. From smart to I think it's fixed update, right? Yeah, so it doesn't like glitch. Right. So that's the basic scene setup. I think now we want to do a scriptable object for the ores that we can mine. Let's do scriptable object minigames, and that's in here. Define a ore. Give it a name, an icon, I guess rarity, as well as a prefab. Right. Oh, and also we have to change this, of course. Let's do minigames /or. That way it'll be under a minigames submenu when we create it. Games, and then ores. So then in here we'll define a few ores. Where is it? Minigames.or. So let's do a sapphire. That will have the sapphire sprite that we created. Let's give it an uncommon rarity, and then prefab we wait. So I think we'll do all 3. We'll do 1 emerald. There we go. We'll give it a rarity. Then let's see. We'll do the ruby. We'll make this be epic rarity. There we go. So now I want to set up the objects. Let's see here. Oh, these have to be, we gotta change the import settings on these, because they're way too small. There we go. I just realized also that this thing is sort of misaligned, I guess. I think we'll do that. Should work better. So we'll have the ruby, we need sapphire, as well as the emerald. There we go. So we'll give all of these some simple box collider. And of course, we gotta start doing scripts for this. Minigames, we'll create a new mining minigame folder. And here we'll do a or object. Right. So I guess we'll start by defining some initial health for this one. I'll do a public float initial health, set it equals to 100, and then we'll have a private float health. So at the start, we'll set the health to the initial health, so like that. Of course, we also need a reference to our ore. Public ore. And I guess maybe the initial health we could define inside of the ore instead of the object. Maybe. No, actually, let's have it in here. So the ore, we have the initial health. Or actually, let's do that. I think that's much better. No. Sorry. I made up my mind now. Let's keep it in here. We'll do a public void damage with the amount of damage that we want to give it. We'll do health minus equals damage if health less than or equal to 0. Destroy ore. Oops. Destroy ore. And in here we'll do the actual logic for storing it, I guess. Call this for game object. Here we go. I guess we want to define a mine manager for this. Want to keep tracks of the mined ores and whatnot. So we'll do a mine manager. Here we'll have private integer or private dictionary or an integer that we'll call mined ores. Because that way we can keep track of how many of each type that we've mined. Make this a singleton. We'll add a mined ore function. And here we'll just do if mined ores dot contains key ore, otherwise ores add ore 1. If we already have an entry in this dictionary, then we gotta do what is it that we do? The cleanest way to do this. So where did I use dictionaries earlier? Was it in the boost manager, I think? Class boost, maybe here. Yeah. So we did load boost class here. We just did try get value. Right. Okay. I guess we'll do that. There. We'll rename this to amount instead. There we go. guess that's it. And then in the OR object, we'll do mindManager.instance mind_OR. Did these? No, they did not have the OR object yet, so we'll give it to them. And here we'll give them the actual OR scriptable objects. Sapphire gets the Sapphire object, Emerald, Emerald, and the Ruby gets the Ruby one, obviously. There. So now we could try creating prefabs out of these. Let's add, once again, Minigames folder. Let's do mine folder. We create prefabs out of them. There we go. So now we can reference these in here. How do we want to do that? Best way. Let's close all of these. There. Right, so that's basic ORs done. Now, of course, we can't mine them because we don't have any logic for that yet. So let's do that. Let's do a player miner, and here we'll do just some basic mouse input. So we'll do. I guess we'll keep the update function here. If input.get mouse button down 0, else if input get mouse button up 0. We'll call start mining and stop mining. So I want to allow auto mining, or kind of auto mining, so you can just hold your mouse button to mine instead of having to repeatedly click, of course. So we'll store a private coroutine mining routine. That's what we'll do in the stop mining. So if the mining routine is not equals to null, can I not just do it that way? Apparently not. Then we'll do stop coroutine. In the start mining, I guess we'll call stop mining first to close any routines that are already being done. And then we'll just call start coroutine mine. So here we'll do mine enumerator. We'll do while true. I think we can do that. And at the end we'll do hello, what is a coroutine? It's kind of a function that you can. I'm not super sure about the actual definition of them, but it's a function that you can sort of add a delay inside of. So it doesn't execute immediately, and that's what I'm doing. That's what I just started here, the yield. So if we do yield return new wait for seconds 0.1, then basically this while loop will run indefinitely, but it will wait 0.1 second in between each iteration of it. So let's see here. We'll do a raycast physics 2d.raycast, I think. It's been so long since I did raycast. Raycast 2d. I gotta look it up. It's physics 2d.raycast. So we need the point, which will be our transformed opposition. The direction that we have to get, I just realized. And the way we'll do that is we'll get the mouse pass, which will be and we gotta get the screen to world coordinates and whatnot. Let me see. Unity, get mouse pass in world space. Camera main does screen to world. Right. That's all it is. So we'll do input get. Is it not get mouse position? Oh, it's just mouse position. Right. We'll do mouse position dot set. We'll set it to 0 and we'll convert it to camera dot main dot screen to world point. There, so that's the mouse position in world space. To get the direction, we'll need to do the mouse position. Or is it that? What's your background on dev? I'm an indie developer, self-taught pretty much, but I am taking a programming degree in university as well. This is probably my best known work. It's called Eterna Mine. But I do have a lot of other games on the web and a few on Steam as well. But yeah, like I said, I am studying computing science in university as well. So I do know some basic programming, at least. So we do mouse position minus... I always get these messed up. It's the target minus the source, I think, right? If the source is at 0 and the target is at 5 minus 0. Yeah, it's the target minus the source. So the mouse position minus the... Oh, great. This is the game I'm working on, not the one I showed. The one I showed is a couple of years old. This is the one I'm working on right now. It's called the Gridle. I think there should be a link in the stream description, if I'm not mistaken. So right now I'm doing 1 of 4 minigames that you can unlock and play in the game. Right, so we have the direction. We'll just paste that in here. I guess we wanna normalize it as well. And what does it take? Origin, direction, and a distance. I think we'll define a property here. Reach, and we'll set it to 3 for now. There we go. And this returns what? A raycast hit 2D. Raycast hit 2D. Hit. If hit is not equals to null. If hit dot get component or object is not equals to null. Oh, wait. This is a raycast hit. Hit dot collider? Yeah. Because raycast hit 2D is just it's a class that represents the entire event and not just the object that you hit. But it does contain, obviously, a reference to the object that it hits. We'll do or object dot damage, and I guess we'll define that as well. Public float damage equals 5. Let's do. There. Maybe we want to extract this into a function. Refactor, extract method. We'll call it try. What? That not work? No. Try mining. There we go. Let's see if we get any compile errors. No, nothing. Great. So we'll add the player miner script. And now in theory, we should be able to break this rock if we call destroy on it. Yes, we do. Fingers crossed. Come on, guys. No. Nothing. I think one thing we should maybe do is call the animation so we know it's actually being done. Let's see here. What does the platformer attack do? That's perfect. That's exactly what we want. So I guess we'll start by calling that. And of course we need to decrease the mining speed. 3.5 and just up the damage a bit. Maybe let's make that a variable as well. Time between hits, we'll do 0.5. Time between hits, there we go. So I guess, let's see here, platformer movement. Is that where yes, that's where we have these things. Because we want a reference to the character class. And how did we call it? Platformer fighter here. Character animator dot set trigger platform attack. That's it. So let's see. Maybe only if we actually deal damage is when we want to call the animation. Yeah. I think we'll try that. We've got a reference to character. There we go. Yeah, right. So we're not gonna try flipping the mouse a bit and see if that does anything. No. Huh. Right. So we have the start mining. Mining routine equals start coroutine mine. And then if we release the button, we stop mining. We'll do... I'll add some debug statements. Trying to mine. Wait, I think we're yeah, I think I know what's happening. We're the collider is hitting our player. I think that's it. So we'll need to change the layer of this. Did the music just stop? Was my headphones are cut out? Yeah, it just stopped. Okay. Do we want to add another layer? I'm usually very cautious with adding additional layers because I don't want to bloat my... like the collision matrix. Go, ground check, chest, coin, enemy, character. Yeah, I think we do need to add it. We'll call it minigame... interactable 1, maybe, to be very general. Yeah. No, let's just do ore. Screw it. Because then we want to do a layer mask. Now how can we pass a layer mask? Oh, it's just integer layer mask. Perfect. Private int layer mask. So then in our start method, we'll do layer mask equals layer mask get mask or. I should do it. Yes, there we go. Let's see if we can break it. Yeah, perfect. So that is the basic mining done already. And of course, let's increase the damage. Maybe 25. So it's only, you only need 4 hits. We can reach pretty damn far. I don't want that. Let's try 2. Here, that's still really far. What about 1? Yeah, that's perfect. Let's just do 1 then. And I also noticed what if we speed this up a bit? Yeah, because like the rock is breaking a bit after we mine it, as you can see. So maybe if we just invoke the method. Can we do that? What if we make that another coroutine? Enumerator damage, and in here we'll do yield return 8 for seconds 0.25. There. And so instead we do start coroutine damage. No? All right. We want to do that entirely here. Yeah. It's a bit not the cleanest way to do it, but it should get the job done. Yeah, that's much better. Because now it breaks off once we actually, once the animation actually strikes the rock. Great. Then I guess, what's the next step that we'd like to do here? Check my Trello board. We got set up ore objects, implement spawning of ores. Yeah, I guess that's the next natural step. So I think I should start drawing up some basic cave here. Actually, I think I'll do it this way. I'll just make a really huge blob. Let's see. Oh no. Okay, there we go. It's fine. And then here I'll make this small little square and just start erasing. Wait. Did I? No, I did do it on the ground tile map. Is it the background tile map I drew on? Apparently so. That's no good. Alright. So let us start by filling that in. And let's start digging out some sort of cave. I know also in Haste Miner 2 I did, like there are some like pits that you can fall into and die and lose all your mine stuff. But that would make this much too similar to the platformer minigame. So I'll probably keep it like a little peaceful mining minigame. But this actually brings me back to when I was working on Haste Miner 2. When I was drawing out the caves, just imagining how I would lay out the ores and whatnot. Oops. Like a tight corridor here. Here we have a big room. Maybe we'll give it some little platforms you can use to access this upper roof part. And here you can mine some good stuff. Maybe this one should lead down to a deep pitfall. This opens up a big area here. Can you make that jump? I think so, yeah. There we go. Let's start with this and we'll keep adding more stuff later. Let me just test to make sure that we can actually move around properly here. Oh, I just fell down immediately. Yeah. Oh, that's a difficult jump. Oh, and we just collided with... Right, I forgot the composite collider once again. Composite collider, always the best savior. Composite collider 2D, and it's giving us quite the lag spike. And we'll add use by composite in a time map collider. There we go. That should fix our problem with the oh I forgot it again. God, this is such a weird, this is so trippy. If you don't know, composite collider, it adds a rigid body to the to whatever object you add it to automatically. And I made this mistake a couple of days ago, forgetting it. God, this is so trippy. Let's see if I can navigate the cave here. Oh. Oh, and now I just no-clipped out of the world. Okay. Right. So we just gotta make this static. And there we go. Yeah. That's better. Cave in space, yeah. Super trippy when it happens. Feels a bit laggy though, I don't know why. Yeah, let's see if we can climb out of this pit. No, we can't. That's bad. So we can make 2 block high jumps. 2 block. That will be a 2 block jump. Right? Yeah. 1, 2, that's a 2 block jump. And there we go. Yeah. Now we can get out of that. What about this? Maybe we gotta do it. There we go. Right. So let's delete our sapphire. Right, it was a generator that we were going to do. Or generator. I think we'll call this once, like we want... Or should we? Maybe... No, let's... let's start setting it up and see how it goes. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. If we keep a list of game objects, and we place these game objects where we want to spawn an ore, then we can basically just on each spawn tick, I guess, we check a random game object, we check if it has a child object, which will be the ore. If it does not have one, then we'll spawn one there. Yeah. So let's do a public list of transforms, which will be our spawn points. It's new list of transform on autofill, please. So we'll do private void spawn tick. We'll get a random spawn point, which will be transform random spawn point will be spawn points of index random range between 0 and 1.0 count. So this just gets us a random element from this list. If random spawn point dot get child, can we not get all children? Let's see. Unity get transform all children. Get all child transforms. Oh wait, we gotta loop through it, right? Or how does? Yeah, for each transform child, but I want to. Oh, they're using link. Wait, there's a child count? Oh, that's perfect. So if the child count is equal to 0, then we'll spawn a random ore. So then we need a reference to our ores, which is a list of ore all ores equals new list type ore. And in here, we'll need to define a rarity handler. So this is my own written class that handles... right now, I think I just have placeholder code. Yeah, it just returns a random object. But this is going to, later on, actually handle the rarities. So I can just pass in an arbitrary list of these iRarity objects. That's just an interface. And I'll be able to just tell it, or call a function and get a random object based on our rarity distribution that we set up. So now that I think about it, I need to make the OR actually implement the rarity object interface, which means it needs a public rarity get rarity that just returns a rarity. Yeah. There. So we'll set up the rarity handler in our awake method, I guess. This new rarity handler, it will take all the ores, but we have to convert it to a list of iRarity object, I think. Nope. Non-invocable member. Oh, of course, we gotta do new list. There we go. So if the rarity handler set up, then we can just tell it or equals rarity handler get random object. Oh, and we gotta cast it to an OR object. I think, how do we... There. And then basically we'll just instantiate the random ores prefab under our random spawn point. There. I think that's it. And then, of course, in our start method, I think we'll do... let's do a public integer initial spawn attempts. So we'll do like several spawn attempts immediately. Yeah, we'll do it like that. Initial spawn attempts. While I is less than initial spawn attempts, I++, and we'll call the spawn tick. There. And I guess we'll set up a coroutine as well. Spawn new OR. Enumerator. Spawn new OR. So we'll indefinitely run this loop. I will do yield return new wait for seconds. 5 seconds, yeah. And we'll just call spawn tick. There. So that might be the spawning done already, which is great. Let's do or generator, right? Spawn attempts 100. We'll give it all of our ores. And then we have to set up a few spawn points. Or spawn point, or spawn points. Actually, let's change the snap settings now to 1. Because that will allow me to set this up much quicker. I just realized also that we don't have to define a list. We don't have to expose that list in the inspector and like drag the object in there. We can just give it a reference to this transform and get the spawn points immediately by just looping through the children. So let's do that actually. So let's change it up. We'll make our spawn points into a private list, and instead we'll have a public transform spawn point parent. So here in our rake, we'll do for each transform child in spawn point parent, spawn points dot add child. And of course, let's clear that list before, just so we don't get any overlap. There. I think I might do it actually. Let's see if we get any spawned ores. Yes, we do. But they are... Huh? That's super weird. I didn't think I had to... Does it not look like they've all been like pushed? Yeah. What? They all look like sort of misaligned. Okay, so I guess let's start over with defining them. Like this should be fine. Let's see how that ends up. What? That is not where I defined the spawn point. Excuse me? -12, 5. I literally put it here. Why did it jump? Huh? Is the grid being like misaligned? Yeah, it looks like it. Or no, it's not. What? Like, I'm not hallucinating, right? Wait. X. Oh, it's being offset. What? Why? So let's get back all of our game objects. So that's the issue then. They're being offset 1 point. Oh wait, I just realized why. And now they're not spawning at all. Oh, right, we lost the reference. I think I realized why that's happening. Yes, look here. Our prefabs are not zeroed. Yeah. I think that's the issue. Yes. That solved it, right? Yeah. Now they're not misaligned. Perfect. Now we should be able to mine these as well. Or not. Are these true? Right, I only gave the sapphire. No, I gave none of them. The ore layer. There. Right. Huh. Yeah, maybe we want to increase the reach, because this is kind of tedious. Or not. I think it's actually fine. Yeah, I think we'll keep it as is. No, let's up it a little bit, like 1.5, so we can at least get the ones that are angled like that. Let's see. Yeah. Like we should be able to get those at least. There we go. Now it's a little bit more forgiving. I think that's good. Can we reach the ones below or above us? No. Oh, we can. Yeah. You just gotta time the strike. Great. So that is implement spawning wars, and we have implement mining wars. Of course, we gotta add some juice to this, like particles and whatnot. I think if the player has the ability to place blocks to reach, it's fine. Otherwise, you should increase a little bit. Yes, that is a good suggestion. I don't think we'll do placing of blocks. So yeah, maybe we should up the reach even more to 2, maybe. Yeah. There we go. Also, while we're at it, let's increase the... Or let's... the mid-air acceleration mode. Let's set that to 0 for the mining minigame. It's basically makes movement more sluggish when you're mid-air. And that's good to have for platform minigame, to add difficulty, but for this it's just a bit tedious. What do we have here? The object of type or object has been destroyed. Oh right, if we hit the game object several times before it gets destroyed, I guess that gets called. If game object dot, or let's Huh. So let's do private bool. Yes, I have noticed. That's like a super unfortunate bug that I think's kind of built into Unity. There are ways to get around it, I know. But I'm not sure which one works best. I think... Let's see here. 48, 40, 47. Oh. Let's see, unflipped. Yeah. So this is one way I think to get around it, is to set the pixels per unit a bit smaller than the actual size. So instead of 16 you do like 15.9. But apparently that's not... It's not really solving it. Still doing this weird clipping. Like what if we... Yeah, even if we drag it down to like 6. Yeah, it's still clipping. Huh. I think that's it. Like there's lots of issues that gets caused by floating point precision errors. And I think this is one of them. Where basically when you cut out the sprites, oh, not like that. When you cut them out like this in the grids, the grid kind of clips a little bit, like a tiny amount. Like it goes outside of this sprite, if that makes sense. Because there are... It's the same ones that are clipping, I notice. Let's see which ones it is. It's like these ones. So let's check. How do they look in the tile map? Here. No, wait. That's not it. It's this one. So this part is sort of bleeding in, basically. Is what most likely is happening. So what if I do... What if I do 15 point... No, you can't even do decimals. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah. I do think there are like good ways around it, but I'm not sure how to solve it at this point, honestly. But yeah, it's super distracting. I know that. All right. What are we doing here? Private pool is being destroyed. So let's do, if we're not being destroyed, then we'll call this function. There, just to prevent calling it several times. Now we shouldn't see the errors in the console anymore. Yeah. Yeah, this probably, yeah, I would assume there's lots of people who had the issue. Like I mentioned, it's more of a like built-in issue with Unity and not any specific project issue, which is super annoying. I feel like it's something they could fix really easily, but I guess not. There, we just saw one spawned as well. That's great. Oh, and it's, excuse me, stop. Right. So then we want to, I guess, display the mined ores now. I think that's our next step here. So let's copy the platformer progress thingy. Enemy progress. Paste that into a canvas here. We don't have a canvas set up. We'll set it to scale with screen size 1920 1080, and we'll just paste the progress thingy under the canvas. Paste as child there. Great. Minus 25, yeah. Of course we need this to be a bit wider, since we're going to display several ores that we've mined, basically. So we had the highlight, we had the shadow. So let's remove these two. I think we gotta make this a... how would we like to do this? We'll do a separate child object, which is the... just call it the holder. Set it to the full size and give it a horizontal layout group. So then here we'll create an empty game object, call it or progress display. Make it have the width of 200 maybe. And inside of this we'll add the image. Give it the sapphire for now. as well as a text. Let's push it away 90 from the left, I guess. 5 top, 5. 5. And so here we'll basically do... Oh, we gotta center this. There we go. There? No, we gotta push it in a bit further. Let's do 100. Something like that, I guess. And we'll just have 3 of these, basically, for the 3 different ores. Let's do minigame. Mining. We'll do a or progress slot or progress slot. Yeah, that sounds fine. On a quick fix, if you want to try, they create a sprite atlas. Put any sprites you use for tiles in the package sprite atlas offers and press pack preview. Sprite atlas. I've never worked with that actually. Is that like a built-in component in Unity? We have 2D here. Sprites. Sprite atlas here. Let's try creating one and see how they look. Sprite atlas. Oh, that is a lot of things. Put any sprites you use for tiles in the package. Sprite atlas offers. Oh, here, objects for packing. Huh. Yeah, I mean, I could try it. Let's see. With the tiles, blue tiles. So what if I do... yeah, objects for packing, yeah. So how can I take this entire thing? Yeah, this is the problem with Unity as well. When you wanna drag something from the inspector, like from the project window to something in the project window. Can I do another project window? I think you can, but then they get synced up, which is super weird. I mean, they're called frozen flipped and frozen unflipped. We'll just see if we can search it. Oh, here. Huh. T sprite texture 2D T4. Huh. Okay. Oh, Christ. Frozen here. Yeah, so what if I try taking that entire thing? Or all... So let's add that one. Pack preview, frozen flipped, and let's do frozen unflipped. Okay. That made them blurry. We gotta do point and no compression, I guess. There! Let's see. Yeah, I think that fixed it actually. There's no more white lines. That's awesome. Thanks for the help. Yeah, that's great. So there was a quick fix. That's great. Perfect. So then we fix that issue. I think I'll do, while we're at it, let's do the minigame. Or the minigame. This is also a minigame. The platformer. While we're at it. Because I think that also has the issue. Or does it? Yeah, it does. Slightly. So let's solve that too while we're at it. Brown rock, but what is it called? It's called humus. And humus flipped. Right. Humus. No? Hello? Humus. And let's pack that too. There. Yes! We got it working. That's great. Oh. I'm really happy with the combat that we did on the platform minigame. It's super fun to just mess around with the enemies. Alright, back to the mining minigame. So we were doing the display, right? I think I did created the script. Scripts, minigames, mining, or progress slot here. So let's set up an image, which will be we'll call it img. Set up a tm textmeshpro.text, which would be the amount text. Gotta import some packages. Using tm pro. Now, how do we want to do this actually? I think. Wait, do we not have generic like image text display? I think we do. Item image. I think there should be one. Let's see. XP display. Item amount slots, but that's not what we want. Wait, does that take? No, it takes an item. So let's make a generic one. Generic folder. And here we'll do a image text pair. That's what we'll call it. Because that way we can just reuse this for other purposes also. So we'll do public void display, I guess we'll just call it. You take a sprite, and a string text. Image.sprite will be the sprite, and the amount, or I guess we'll just call this text. And this is gonna look really weird. This.text.text equals text. It's not great coding practice, but we'll never going to look at this class ever again. So let's remove the or progress slot. We won't be needing that. Give this a... We'll still call it or progress slot, like the game object, I think. And we'll give it a image text pair. give it the image component and the TMP text component. And so we will create a prefab out of this. Where is the prefab folder? There, our progress slot is defined. Now we will do all of this logic in the mine manager, I think. So we'll keep another private dictionary that has the OR as the key, and it also has an image text pair component, which we'll call OR displays. There. So once again, in our awake method, this will define a initialize function that we'll call here. So we're going to start by... Wait, we don't have a reference to all of the ORs. That's no good. So we'll need three things, I guess. We'll need public list OR, all the ORs. We will need a public game object, which is the OR display slot prefab. And we'll need a transform, which will be the OR display folder. So in our initialize method, we'll basically loop through all the ORs. For each OR in all ORs, we will instantiate the OR display slot prefab under the OR display folder. Get a reference to this. We'll insert this into the OR displays. So OR display.add OR and temp slot. Oh, .get component image text pair. There we go. And finally we will... Oh, hold up. Let's also add to the OR or mined ORs. Let's add like the initial values in this dictionary. So we have 0 for all the ORs that exist. Let's create a method called display ORs. This will loop through the ORs basically, for each OR in all ORs. And what we'll do is integer amount equals mined ORs, the OR image text pair is the OR displays of our OR. And we'll basically do image text pair dot display or dot icon obviously, and x plus amount. And this method, the display ORs, we'll call that in function whenever we mine a new OR and in the end of our initialize function, basically. There's lots of code that we did only once, but basically what it just does is it's going to display our mined ORs in the UI. Let's see. There's lots of things I need to give references to here. So all ORs, obviously we're repeating this now. So I think in our OR generator, instead of all ORs, we'll just take a reference to the mine manager. And And we'll just loop through the mine manager's all ores list. That way we won't need to update 2 lists whenever we add more ores to the minigame. Sapphire, Emerald, Ruby. There we go. More display slot prefab, of course. And where's that? Or progress slot, yes. And we give it the holder. There. With a bit of luck, this should work fine now. Alright, so they got initialized, which is great. We got some null reference exceptions in the... Oh, right, we forgot to give the... That's why we're not seeing any ores. We forgot to give the ore generator a reference to our mine manager. So we got 0 of each. What if we mine it? It got updated. So we have 1 blue ore, or a sapphire, 2 sapphire. Let's do an emerald. We got an emerald, another sapphire. Yeah. It's working great, I think. Come on. Another sapphire. Let's do a ruby. Yep. That's great. It's working. Oh, we can mine backwards. It almost does feel like the rarity handler is actually doing the distributions. Just judging from this, because this is the distribution. The blue is supposed to be the most common one, and then the green, and then the red one. But no, I think it is still random. Yeah, or obviously it is random, because we didn't do it, did we? Rarity handler. No, it just returns a random object. But yeah, I'm very happy with this. Oh, it just respawned. All right, let's not get stuck on this. But that's a good sign. When you get stuck on your own gameplay, that's of course a good sign that you're doing something right. Right, so time limit is our next step, I would say. We're going to add just some form of time limit that sends us back immediately when the time runs out. I know I have some timer clause and whatnot. Yes, I do. I have a timer manager. How does that look? So this was a super unfortunate rewrite I had to do, because the timer manager I had before, it did not function properly for web builds. So when I released the early version of Gridle on Crazy Games, I had to rewrite the timer manager in order for it to function properly. But yes, I do believe this should work just fine. Let's just add a timer. Is the singleton being handled properly? Instance, if instance equals to null. Not really sure how this is being done actually. Timer manager. Oh wait, it's actually instantiating the timer manager out of nowhere. That's great. So let us, so we don't need to create it even. It's going to do that automatically. Right. So let's just set it up, I guess. We'll go into our mine manager. And here we'll set public integer time limit in seconds. We'll set that to 600, so 10 minutes, but we can change it later. So then in our initialize method, we'll do timer manager dot instance dot start timer, right? What does that take? Takes the timer ID. Right, then we gotta do a random, not a UUID, that's for Java. Let's see, what is it called? Where are we calling timers? Treasure chest, maybe? Yes, here. Timer ID is this. GUID, okay. So that's the timer ID. Then we do timer ID duration, and we need to define an action. And I think the boolean is if it's affected by time scale or not. Right, timer ID, duration, action, and true. So let's set up a public void send back to main game. So the action will be action. Is it not that way? Action, act. Yeah, it is. Right, because we don't have the system namespace. There we go. And that will be send back to main game. Timer ID and duration will be time limit in seconds. There. And here we'll just do using Unity Engine .scene management, and here we'll do scene manager .load scene. What is it called? Let's see. It is called Platformer Manager. Is that not here? Oh, we just do load scene 0. Yeah, that's better. There. So that should theoretically send us back to the main game after 10 minutes. And of course we'll add a display in a second that will display the actual time left. The timer manager class that I have is it already has built-in support for that, which is great. Right, so I think I'll just run to the bathroom real quick. I'll leave my party grinding while I do that, and I'll be back in like 2 minutes. right. Let's see. So if you're new to the stream, this is basically what the main game of Gridle is. You manage your party to basically fight waves of enemies for you. You can like assign classes in any way you want. Right now I have a knight in the front, and then 2 miners in the middle, and an archer in the backline. Hello, I just follow. How's it going? Thanks for the follow. It's going pretty good. We've gone from pretty much nothing in the second minigame that I'm working on to this point where it's basically like it's almost at a ready state. So this is one of 4 minigames, at least 4 minigames that this game is going to have. So you unlock 1 minigame for each class. So what's mining for? Yeah, this is so this is just a minigame. Let me show real quick. We have this here. So this is the base game basically, where you I had my click veil. Where you manage your party to fight enemies idly, basically for you. And then once you rebirth, this is the entire rebirth tree of the game. You can unlock this, which is a party orb, and it materializes like every 24 hours, and then further upgrades it goes faster. So once you have a party orb, you can give it to one of your classes, and that will permanently boost one of their stats, as well as unlock a minigame for them. This is so the small green buttons down here is for the minigame. So at this point we have Night minigame, which is just a platformer with enemies. Oh, that was a lag spike that made it so I couldn't get over. So we have this platformer minigame with enemies, and then we have the mining minigame that I'm working on currently for the miner class. So with this, your goal is to sort of defeat as many enemies as you can. Oh, and I just died myself. Defeat as many enemies as you can, and then reach the goal, basically. Which will allow... Now we just have potions. That's kind of a placeholder item. And I just see now that we did encounter a bug, actually, with the stats not being reset. It's kind of weird. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So then we have the mining minigame as well that I'm doing. Right, so the minigame will give you items, basically, in the main game. Your game looks cool. Thanks, I really appreciate that. There is a demo out on the web that you can try for free, and then you can wishlist it on Steam. It's called Gridle. It's kind of a merge of grind and idle. That's basically where the word comes from. I think there should be a link in the, or not on Twitch maybe. That might be just on YouTube that there's a link in the description. I haven't figured out Twitch yet, unfortunately. Right, so next step was to actually display the time left that we have. So let's copy our enemy progress, time left. Let's set it at the top left corner and make it much smaller, of course. Maybe like that. Let's not have a holder. Let us instead have... Do we have like a clock? We do. Perfect. Which one do we want? I think the golden one looks fine. Let's do time left text. There we go. let's make this right. Left 75, no. 100. 15, 15, 15. Let's do 125. That's no, I think that's fine. 64. That might be too much. Let's see if it can actually display 0, 0. Or what is like the widest number? I think that would be. I feel like that would be 4, 7 or 9, maybe 7. So let's do 7, 7.7, 7. Yeah, like we can fit the time. Fine. Something like this. That's what we'll do. And then in our mine manager, we'll add a reference to the text. tmp.text, time left text. And of course we need to import the team pro namespace, text mesh pro. Right. So how does our timer, does it have a callback? I think it does. For the, we have the time on time left changed. Right. So the start timer. Huh. Let me check real quick how I'm actually displaying the timers. Status panel, display status, description, and the timer ID. So what are we doing? Display status, timer ID, update slot. It's just a code routine once again. Timer is not equals to null. Right. Okay. Is this generic enough? I think it is, right? That we can just reuse it. Yeah. We'll just... I think it should be fine. Status and time left text. Let's try it. So we'll make this be a status slot. The status text will just... Oh, that takes a normal text. Of course it does. Of course. Let's do time left text. Let's copy the rect values. Paste component values. Make it completely white. 64. We'll just do this and null text for now. There we go. No, wait. Other way around. Status should be null. Status slot. So it takes a name and a timer ID. So what we'll just do is here in the platformer... No, not platformer manager. Mine manager. Where did we... Here. Timer ID. We'll just take a reference to our status slot, time left slot, that's what we'll call it. And here we'll just do time left slot dot display status. Description should be nothing, and we pass the timer ID. I think that might do it. Time left slot. Oh, right, we have the time left text that we can just remove now then. Let's see. Yeah. It is displaying the hours though. Like it's always displaying the hours, and that's obviously that leads to these clipping issues. Because the text it doesn't fit really. What if we do just shrink it down a bit? I guess. Yeah. I mean that works. Of course, if we never have the if we never have hours, then we don't really need them. Oh, yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah. I think we'll leave it at that for now. Then, of course, now we have another problem, which is that we get sent back to the main game immediately when the time runs out, instead of giving rewards. So let's see. We have our minigame platformer, level complete panel. We have a reward panel. I think we can just copy paste this. And that should work. How does this look? Yeah, this does give the rewards and whatnot. So what if we just in the mine manager, we'll do mining session over. Mining session over. And here we'll just display the reward pop-up. Hold up, let me actually close these tabs. There's too many right now. Let's open up the reward pop-up, and let's open up our mine manager. There. I also just realized that we're calling back. Oh, no, we're not. That is beautiful. We are doing our last reward. I was afraid that we actually directly called something in the platformer manager class. Like in here we did platformer manager dot something something. But we're not actually. It's a subscribable event, which is great because that makes this reusable in other parts of the project. That's great. So how are we calling this? We're doing get random reward, get all rewards. Let's take all of this actually. Let's do mining session over. We'll need a reference to the level reward pop-up. And here we'll have claimed last reward. That should just, yeah, that just sends us back to the main game, which is great. And Now the question is, how do we want to actually give rewards based on our ores? That's what we need to implement. And of course, our reward handler. We also need to define that. I just realized. We need a list of drop bundles, which will be our potential rewards. And from there, based on that, we'll create a reward handler, rarity handler. There. I think for now we'll do for each variable entry in mined ores. And we'll do ore. No, wait, what? Ore equals entry.key. No, wait, it will be ore, yeah. Entry.key. And then we have the integer amount is the entry.value. I think we'll do here float reward chance will be 0. And then, I think we should define a new function for this. We'll call it private float get chance based on rarity. So we'll have different chances of giving a chest based on the rarity of the ore. Rarity. Get chance based on rarity, which will be our ore dot get rarity. So we'll do a switch statement, rarity. So if it is rarity.common, this down. No, this is a scriptable object. I just noticed, or I realized. Does it have an ID? Yes, it does. So if it's common, we'll return 0.1% chance or 10% chance. If it's uncommon, we'll do 20% chance. If it's rare, we'll do 35%. If it's epic, we'll do 50% chance, and if it's legendary, we'll do 0.75% chance. And the default value will just return 0, but that should never happen. There. So now we have the amount of each ore, we have the reward per ore. So then here, we'll just do for integer I equals 0, we'll loop through the amount per ore. We'll do if a random value between 0 and 1. If that is less than the reward chance, then we should give a reward. This is going needs us to define which random range we mean. There. If it's less than the reward chance, then we'll add to the rewards list. Reward.add reward handler.get random object. We need to cast this to a drop bundle. There. And of course we want to give, or no, we don't actually. I don't think we do want to give any initial rewards. I think they should only be based on the number of chests that you've, or the number of ores that you mined. The difference was in the platform minigame I did give just for reaching the goal. But here we want the player to be able to leave whenever they want. And if they can just leave immediately, then yeah, we won't give any initial rewards. Right. Let's see here. So we'll add a reference to the reward pop-up. that should be it, I think. Of course, we need. Let's just add a quick little like close button. At the top, that will allow us to leave whenever we want. Something like that. No, that looks horrible. That's better. Is there like a leave icon? No. No, there's nothing like that. So let's just have it like this for now. Let's add a juicy button component. And here we'll just call mine manager dot mining session over, I think. Let's see. Let's do a private boolean session over equals false. If it's not over yet, then we'll do all of this. And we'll set it to true immediately. There. And we can close this. Yeah. And we got sent back because there was no rewards, obviously. So let's try mining a bit and see. Try closing it. No reward still? Wait, hold on. Did I... Index out of range exception. Oh, right! That is my mistake. I forgot to give the actual rewards in here. Of course I gotta do that. So let's do blonde chest, silver chest, and gold chest. There. That was a problem. So he was actually trying to give us rewards, but we didn't have any defined in the list. Oh, and I jumped down in the pit. I gotta climb back up. Oh. Ay, ay, ay. Let's not jump in there again. Let's mine the red ones because those... Oh, okay, that was not... that was not the same pit. Alright, let's close it now. This should give us just... Oh, okay, it spawned there for some reason. Right. Reward pop-up 34. Platformer sound... Oh, we don't have any sound player, right? So let us... Let's copy that for now. Go. let's see if we got one. Yes, we did. Yeah, okay, so it is working, but for some reason it's spawning all the way over there. Probably have to deal with this, the spawn point that we defined. Yeah. That's a bit weird. There we go. That's probably better. Let's try our chances. Just one red. That should be 75% chance that we get one. No, we didn't get it. Okay, let's do it again. There we go. And we get sent back to the game. Perfect. Now there's one final step. That is, we need to add support for going to this minigame, actually. We'll open my minigame manager. Here we'll do if party class, or we'll do switch, I guess, of our party class. Case party class is... No, can we do that? No. Wait, the party... Save name, label, icon, prefab. Oh no. That's no good, actually. I also could define this. Yeah. Public string, minigame, scene name. So we could do it like that. Equals party class dot minigame. Yeah. So we'll do, in the miner, we'll do minigame mining. And then for our night, we'll do minigame platformer. There. Let's see if this works. Yes! Perfect. It's working great. Of course, there's lots of, like, we gotta add lots of juice to this to make it really feel good when you're mining. Add some reactions to the rocks. They should, like, shake a little bit, maybe play some particles. And of course, we gotta add sounds and whatnot. But I think this is a really good foundation for being done in, what, 2 hours in one stream? Considering this scene didn't exist at the start of the stream. Let's see now. Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of chests. Yeah. Oh, let's not break the click wave. I'm actually really happy with that. I did not think we'd make this much progress in on a minigame in one stream. So we have add goal object. Yeah, give rewards based on mine rewards. Yeah. Like, all the fundamentals are there for this minigame now. So I think tomorrow is when we'll add, like, juice to this minigame to just really make it pop and feel good. And maybe touch a bit on the platform minigame as well, to add some juice. So I think I'll wrap the stream up here. If you haven't already, make sure to wishlist Gridle. This is the game that I've been working on for this entire stream. So what we did was just a minigame of the main game. In the main game, you manage a party to fight waves of enemies for you. and they do it completely automatic. So it's more of a management game than it is like a fighting game or whatever you want to call it. So it's out on Steam. The description should be, or it should be in the description if you're watching on YouTube. On Twitch, I don't think I've added that yet. But yeah, it's just called Gridle. Think grind and idle put together into one word. Right, so yeah, I'll wrap it up here and I'll see you all again tomorrow. Should be around the same time. Yeah, great. Thanks for watching.